One thing that I'm so much against the Hindi movies, they have made Dawood a hero. Why was he not shot dead at the right time? I'm sure police had enough intel. They could have done it if they wished to.
1992, December 6, Babri Masjid fell down. Who did that? Is very well known. Then, allegedly, with evidence, the minority community met Dawood Ibrahim in Dubai. As Chota Rajan claimed that he is a patriotic don, he is a Hindu don, nationalistic don. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. We never wanted a nationalistic don at all. This guy talked to ISI and they gave free 4,000 kilos of RDX. The gangsterism started from 1940. 2001-2 was the time we finished. Every third day, every second day, somebody was shot. What kind of a Diwali is this where fatake ki jagah pe bullet ka awaaz aa raha hai?
Hi friends, welcome back to my show, the Himanshu Mehta Show. This time, we are coming back with something very, very strong. We have the top cop of the city, Mumbai, the past Director General and the Police Commissioner of Bombay, Mr. D. Sivanandhan. He is the man who changed the history of crime in the city of Mumbai. Remember the 90s, when people were very afraid of extortion, there was underworld belly, the big Dawoods and all were getting bigger unnaturally, and the film industry was being ruled by them. There were murders happening in daylight. People were feeling very, very insecure. People wanted to migrate. This is the time, the right man at the right time at the right place. He's the man who got around a lot of control and a U-turn in the history of crime here in Mumbai. The office where we are standing, he was the Joint Commissioner at that time in 1995. And here, a couple of streets behind, East-West line owner was shot dead. This was the time Gulshan Kumar was shot dead near my clinic in Juhu. This was the time Kukreja was shot. This was the time near Mahalakshmi, Sunil Khattar was shot. Imagine every day when the headlines were screaming like this, you have a man here who took it at the hem of the office. He decided to change the underbelly of the whole world, and he took it as a front man hitting hard from the front. He really encouraged his staff, his police force to see that everything comes in front. He encouraged them. He is a man who led from the front, a leader, a man who visionizes, who changed the history. And here we are safe thanks to people like Mr. D. Sivanandhan. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
So really glad to have you on the show here. It's a pleasure. And we are just passing by Bandra, where the East-West airline chief was shot dead in 1995. It is amazing how things were so difficult for people. The media was not very strong at that time, and people were wondering what is happening, whether the safety is correct for Bombay or not. The underworld valley was so strong for the film industry. It was for the builders' nexus. And Sunil Khattar, a builder, was shot dead at Mahalakshmi. You had Gulshan Kumar, T-Series owner, shot dead right in front of my clinic at Juhu. Now, with this kind of insecurity going on, so you took over the helm of the affair at 1995. It must have been fire all around. I remember the police commissioner after Gulshan Kumar's murder was transferred.
Doctor, wonderful to start with. You have given so many things in one go, and we could almost talk about it for about 2 hours or 2 days. To start with, I must say that my job of eliminating the mafia came in my hand in July 1st, 1998. In the year 1995, I was additional CP crime sitting in Crawford Market. 3 years there, I came to Bandra West, where we are moving now. I was additional commissioner here when Taqiyuddin Wahid, the East-West airline MD, was shot dead right behind my office. That was the unfortunate days. Om Prakash Kukreja was shot in Chembur, and Sunil Khattar was shot in race course, that is Mahalakshmi station. All that you mentioned is true. When Gulshan Kumar was shot, I was in Gadichiroli. I was not here. All other murders I have visited, seen, I have enacted and did whatever is right. Later on, some of those shooters have had faced the encounter people also. So now, to start with the fright. The fright is not created in one day, doctor. You summed it up beautifully, I appreciate. But actually, the gangsterism started from 1940. Your Karim Lala and various others like the south-based Haji Mastan and later Varadarajan Mudaliyar. They all had a sway for 20 years and 30 years. Then they distributed the area amongst themselves. Port was the main area where they operated, and the bloodletting was much less at the time. The area was distributed, the money was distributed, and the profit was shared, and they lived it that way in one way. But then the people did take the beating. The bloodletting, as you rightly said, doctor, the fright, the switching off the lights and things like that happened in the year 95 onwards. And there is a history behind it. And the people, police went to shoot the criminals. The first incident took place in 1982. Mania Surve was shot dead. That was Mr. Julio Ribeiro's time. And later, many shootouts took place. But people did say that the Mumbai police was sometimes partisan. Many of the officers belonging to loyalty was shifting from one area to the other. And with that, if we say the gangsterism grew strength by strength from 1940, 10 years, 50, 10 years, 60, 10 years, up to 2000. 2001, 2 was the time we finished. So there was a free run, a bull run from 1940 to 2001. That is a good 60 years. The pinnacle, the peak happened in the year 1997-98. There is a amount of killing peaked in 98 where 101 businessmen of the type of people whom you mentioned, Vallabh, Takkal, Gudshan, Kumar, OP, Kukreja, Om Prakash Kukreja, and people like that, 101 in 1 year is too much to believe.
Yeah, which means one every third day.
Today, any youngster will say, what is this man telling all about? Aisa bhi koi din hota hai kya? Every third day, every second day, somebody was shot. So much so, doctor, when the business people assembled in Birla Krida Kendra somewhere in September, October and gave gali to the government, the CM and various others, after that, all the promises on 18/10/98, that was the Diwali day, if you can check your calendar, Panchanga, 3 shootouts took place. Early morning, one in Antapil, a businessman was shot dead. In the afternoon, in Dadar, another one was shot. Evening, Pali Hill, where we are moving in this area, one more man was shot. Imagine the Diwali. For the businessman, or for the policeman, or for me, or for anybody, what kind of a Diwali is this, where fatake ki jagah pe bullet ka awaaz aa rahi hai. So that is a level, doctor. And anyone who had bought a flat was asked to pay money in crores. Anyone who bought a car was asked to pay money in lakhs. Anybody who spent money on the marriage of a beloved daughter was asked to shell money in lakhs and crores. There was a fright completely unleashed. And I would say the Mumbai was becoming like the then Beirut, or we can say like Gaza, today's Gaza, where everything is rooted out and there was fright. When the people will get shot and when they will die was not known to anybody. That is the scenario, doctor, and you summed it up beautifully. Please go ahead.
Sir, I am a doctor and I know I've been a victim of the extortion racket. And that's how we met in life in 1999. And I know what pressure a common man feels without having understood anything. And it's humongous. So thanks very much for seeing what it was and understanding from a common man's perspective. You know, for us to approach any senior police person was difficult. And you were the Joint Commissioner Crime at that time. I remember meeting you at Crawford Market. Now tell me, sir, how this is so important that you eliminated, but unless there is a political will, how can this happen? Was there any nexus now? This is something so very vital for a common man to understand. This proliferation it's unbelievable for me that it can happen on its own.
Dr. Himanshu, your question should be divided into two. Nexus between politician and gangster is for their own benefit, where each other benefited from their nexus. So that's a separate question. But the first question you asked is, how did the politicians allow me to eliminate if they are going to be having nexus and gaining win-win agar ho, then how did they allow me to eliminate? That is a brilliant question. I want to answer that first. That in the year 1995, if you see, there were at least 5, 6, 7, 8 top political people, particularly belonging to the ruling government, that is the BJP Shiv Sena joint government, coalition government was there. Mr. Manohar Joshi was the CM and Gopinath Mundeji was the deputy CM in charge of home. Now, when they were there, besides all the businessmen whom we described, when they were shot, to an extent, okay, they will allow the police to do. But when their own men, Vivek Kelkar and so many other MLAs, 5 of them precisely, belonging to BJP and Shiv Sena, were shot dead.
Oh my God.
And Ramdas Naik was shot dead right next to Bandra police station where we are cruising.
Oh.
So he was a BJP chief. And if that kind of a thing was happening, it was a challenge to the existence of the government. Now, please believe that there is a central government which says under 356, they can dismiss a state government if there is a collapse of law and order. Tell me, doctor, if 101 businessmen are shot dead, is it collapse of law and order or not?
100%, sir. Every third day, everybody used to live in fright. Nobody would get out. Nobody would get their children married. I remember getting a membership of the club. They said they'll take a number and you will get an extortion call. Everybody was scared. Unbelievable. And that was post-riots in 1994 after the bomb blast. So this is unbelievable what was happening in the proliferation.
Now, doctor, I got a complete carte blanche to eliminate the mafia so that the ruling elite, the politicians, can live and continue whatever they are doing, whatever they are known for doing. Does that make it very clear to you?
Yes, it makes clear.
Even as per the rumors, some of the top people and their children, who are the real top, were threatened.
Oh.
These guys reached up to them. The Gad, the fort of the ruling elite, they entered and they threatened. If that kind of a thing happens, they will say, how dare you? I'll get you fixed by the law. And that is what happened. They were all fixed by the law.
Ah, this makes a lot of sense, sir. That's when the water reached their feet level. They started panicking that if their family gets affected, and that's how. Oh, this is an interesting insight which I never had. And thank you very much for saying that. Sir, what was the implication of the Bombay bomb blast with the underworld connection? There was definitely a connection with the underworld for the Bombay bomb blast, for all the RDX to be transported.
Doctor, it is not a laughable matter. I should cry actually.
Yes.
Because you asked a question in a way, I laughed. Pardon me for that. See, the whole background is 1992, December 6, Babri Masjid fell down. Who did that? Very well known. The minority community agitated and did rioting that night. Police took care of them in whatever way they were being trained. 15 days later, the other majority community people went on a rampage. The minority community were at the receiving end. And whatever happened was mayhem, let us say. Sri Krishna Commission will give you the entire detail as to what happened, who handled what and how it handled and all that. Then allegedly, with evidence, the minority community met Dawood Ibrahim in Dubai and said, we need parity.
Oh.
We need a certain kind of a thing happening where the minority community can see the other community eye to eye. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Eye to eye. That means pride has to be restored. Then this guy talked to ISI. He was working for ISI anyway. And they gave free 4,000 kilos of RDX.
Oh.
Produced garma garam in the package, you can see that. And 2,000 AK-47, 2,000 hand grenades. And enough ammunition to bring down the entire Mumbai. For your kind information, doctor, 4,000 kilos can bring the entire Mumbai city to rubble. Unfortunately or fortunately, only 300 kilos was used in a hurry by the Tiger Memon family, and that also many of the bombs didn't go off. So, on that day, fateful day, 12/3/1993 is the fateful day, doctor. Between 1 o'clock and between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, there were 12 serial bomb blasts. What is the damage? 257 people killed, 857 people maimed and injured, and unknown number of people vanishing, that is missing. and many buildings like Bombay Stock Exchange, Air India, Sea Rock Hotel. Where is Sea Rock Hotel now? That because of the blast, it got completely rooted out.
Oh.
So if that is the kind of damage, please keep it on record. This is the biggest ever terrorist attack in the world by the time. ATC, WTC, 2001, America, all that happened in 2001. We are talking of 1993. FBI sent its deputy directors, I accompanied them and showed them all the damage and showed gunny bag full of evidence. But then they took it all and went away and kept quiet because it didn't trouble them. Only when the WTC took place, then they said, Are, ye to hamara, it is coming on my head. That is where they said, war on terrorism. Whereas, what happened here was a classic combination of the gangsters, the mafia, coming in line with the terrorists aligned country and perpetrating a terrorist act against unsuspecting innocent people of Mumbai.
Wow, amazing. This is a great insight, sir. Sir, but one thing that I'm so much against the Hindi movies, they have made Dawood a hero. The person who's supposed to be not a hero and a zero, who has ruined the infrastructure, who's our greatest enemy. Now, he has been made a hero. Why was he not shot dead? Why was he not shot dead at the right time? I'm sure police had enough intel. They could have done it if they wished to. Or the political partners wanted them to do it.
You are asking too many questions in one shoot, doctor. I would only answer one part. Why was he not shot dead? In our country, in Mumbai, he was doing a petty thief, 1984. He is born in 1955. He is son of a Havaldar. Havaldar had 12 children. He is the 7th son. He didn't go to any school. And he was doing only cheating. For that, nobody could shoot them. What shootable crimes he did later, much later, from a foreign country called Dubai. And when this incident, 1993 blast took place, he sought asylum in Karachi. ISI is giving 6-layer security to him. The military of Pakistan is protecting him. First time when General Parvez Musharraf came, the first question asked by Mr. L.K. Advani, the Deputy Prime Minister, is give this Dawood Ibrahim back. Okay, certain private attempts to eliminate him was made as per my knowledge, but then they were all very unsuccessful because he was protected by the Pakistani establishment, the army and the various others. Now about him not being done anything by the Mumbai police or me, if you are alluding, I can only say that is not my remit, that is not my area. I can't go to an international operation. That is to be done by somebody else.
So this was eliminating Dawood. But what happened about Chota Rajan? They were together once upon a time, isn't it?
Dr. Chota Rajan and him, they grew together. It was talent spotting, as one would say in the intelligence parlance. The Chota Rajan was a small boy selling black tickets in Tilak Nagar area of Chembure. Then this Dawood Ibrahim found that he is a fellow who has got that so-called talent, hunar they say. So then he went and then did all that kind of jobs for him. But they fell out when the 12th March 1993 blast took place. They fell out really for what or not, nobody can say. But as Chota Rajan claimed that he is a patriotic don, he is a Hindu don, nationalistic don, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. We never wanted a nationalistic don at all. But he said on behalf of Hindus, I will do this, that and all. He broke with him and went away to Malaysia, Cambodia. Allegedly sitting in a yacht, safely in a yacht. He operated with satellite phones and did all the same job of eliminating people and collecting money through extortion, and he built up an empire of his own. Earlier you mentioned Taqiyuddin Wahid, East-West Airline fellow, where we are cruising now.
Yes.
And that fellow was shot dead by Rohit Verma, an able assistant of Chota Rajan, who was in turn killed by Chota Shakil and Dawood Ibrahim in Bangkok in September 2000 when they went to eliminate Chota Rajan, who was there in the flat in Bangkok. Allegedly, it was his birthday and Chota Shakil assembled a multinational team and sent him to be shot. They became international by the time. Now you knew, talking about gullies of Bombay, they became international. They went and shot this guy, and the one who opened the door was the same Rohit Verma who killed Taqiyuddin Wahid in the spot where we are moving now. So Rohit Verma opened the door and took all the bullets. And when these guys went inside and fired one or two more rounds, it hit Chota Rajan. He jumped out of the window and later he was saved and he got admitted. And we tried to bring him to Mumbai. I sent ACP Shankar Kamble. He agreed to come. But then someone higher up from the authorities said, no, don't do that. And then he vanished with the help of people. He went away to Cambodia or Australia, wherever it is. We did keep track of him. But then, coming back to your story, this alleged Hindu Don, after breaking away from the Muslim Don called Dawood Ibrahim, did kill 8 of those bomb blast accused who had come out on bail. As luck would have it, on the day I joined a joint CP crime in the year 1998, 2 of them in Santa Cruz, Bandra, were shot dead by Chota Rajan in the broad daylight. And everyone said, oh, this is the salami. Welcome for Mr. D. Sivanandhan. I said, okay, this is the Jai Ganesh for me. And we will start doing our job slowly, steadily. We eliminated the entire activity of these people in about 2 years and 9 months.
Wow. So it was something like Munich. The Israelis went after those guys who killed the Israeli people.
The Palestinians killed the players in Munich.
Yes. So Mossad,
Munich sports doctor,
yes,
Olympic.
Mossad,
and then they went systematically and eliminated all of them. Our operation was basically to protect the innocent Mumbaikars who were doing business. Doctors were shot, doctor. I'm sure you're going to ask me a little later. Dr. Jaikar,
yes,
again in the same area where we are moving,
yes,
he was having a good practice, yes, and a Sindhi gentleman was being treated by him, and he died because of liver cirrhosis. Obviously, the doctor could not help, but his brother hired 2 gangsters from Jaunpur of UP, and for a 5,000 rupees, mere 5,000 rupees, a doctor who dealt with lakhs of practice was shot dead.
Oh my God.
All the doctors went up in arms. Dr. Himanshu,
yes,
all the doctors went up in arms and they fired me, 800 of them in Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Rural Development in Goregaon, and they all asked for gun licenses. All the doctors like you are such a handsome James Bond-like doctor. Imagine you having a gun smoking with me when I was gun smoking when I come into your room for checking my eyes. My eyes will pop out actually.
Very true, sir. I remember I attended that meeting. I had met you at that time and you told me something very important. That doc, even I don't carry a gun.
I never did.
You said something so important and vital to me at that time that even doc, I don't carry a gun because the gun can be a weapon used against you because you're not used to using it.
Doctor, I want to say this. All the doctors wanted gun licenses. I said, I'll give you. Will you hold a stethoscope or a scalpel or a ready-made loaded gun with the trigger when patients come? They all kept quiet. I said, eliminating these people is my job. I will do. You relax. They all listened to me. They paid heed to me. And it worked out.
International terrorism and Dawood, something which realized later on after the 1993 blast and Chota Rajan running off to Malaysia, that such a big impact that India had now come on an international scene and terrorism at a global level. I'm sure that, as you said, ISI supported. Without international support to carry out a bomb blast activity in Bombay would have been an impossible thing. And that has been done very well. But Chota Rajan, you said, but what was this BRA gang, sir? That was the 3 people, Ram Naik.
That is all, doctor, earlier. These are all those Stone Age, Iron Age type of stories.
Okay.
They all became irrelevant. They are those Katavita type of fellows and all that kind of people. They are, let us say, put it to you in a very nice way. This is the origin of all those gangs. What you must realize is, all the small tributaries or Nadi, which is all joining and going away like a Ganges. Now these fellows all form their own gangs. They join Dawood Ibrahim. They work for him, go and start their own, come back, like that. Like Abu Salem Bolo. So many, even Arun Naik, Amar Naik, Arun Gauli and all, have always worked for Dawood Ibrahim in the beginning. So all these gangs like Ramanayak, Evo and all the BRA gang and all, these are the initials of three gangsters. They are all people who worked for major gangs. They went away, tried their hand, come back on assignments. When they sort out some matter, they come back together, something like that. Okay. But then if you go into the annals of the history of the mafia, so many such small amalgamations took place. They broke, they joined. It is like a major Ganges being added by various tributaries or small tributaries going away, canals going away from there. But the original gangsters, if you ask, they will be Karim Lala, the Patan gang, then your Haji Mastan, Varadarajan Mudliyar, and then Dawood Ibrahim, that is a Konkani Muslim angle, Indian Konkani Muslim angle. To oppose him will be Arun Gawli and Amar Naik, supported by a political party, and people like that. All others, like your various others, would all come in the major grouping. This BRA is also part of the same gang.
What about Chota Shakil? He made a name for himself and he used to be a threat to call people. He's come on television also.
Lovely. He never came on television, doctor. These guys allegedly have been given an advice by some intelligent person, probably a police officer, that don't get caught because this in the MCOCA, the law which I made, which is called Brahmastra, you need serious 3 crimes in the last 3 years. So when this came into being, someone advised Dawood Ibrahim, don't get into the FIRs of India. So he anointed Chota Shakil as his manager for doing all the crimes. And for Vasuli, threatening and all, Fahim much used to be coming on the telephone calls. So they had given like this is what is a company like. You know, there is a CEO, there is a CFO, there is a legal officer, there is an executioner and things like that. So Chota Shakil is the general manager for Dawood Ibrahim for committing all the crimes, collecting money, setting people right. For example, Chota Rajan should be set right, or somebody should be eliminated in the gang. Some lawyer should be eliminated. All that Chota Shakil will do. But please mark it, in this chalaki business, Dawood Ibrahim doesn't come in the picture at all. So if I were to apply MCOCA today, in the last 10 years, there is no case against him.
Oh wow. So what is this MCOCA Act?
MCOCA is the Brahmastra, doctor.
Yes.
Everyone says it is the encounter which is eliminated the mafia, but then the encounter specialists were going astray and they, and the press and the cinema and various others, they wanted some kind of a heroes that they produce these people. But actually in my thesis, my book, it is the Brahmastra is the MCOCA. MCOCA is a law made by Maharashtra government in 1999, and that has a stringent provision of no bail for people. And if they want to have bail, they have to prove it almost that they have not done the crime. There are so many presumptions that if your fingerprint is on the weapon, your presence on the thing, your saliva or any other body fluid available in any area, you will be proved to have been committed the crime. That was, and the best is a confession made to a police officer of the rank of a DCP or a superintendent of police is admissible as law. In no other law in Indian penal law, doctor, except the Customs Act, a confession given to a police officer or a government officer, not a government officer, police officer is not admissible. In the Customs Act, the confession given to a customs officer is admitted, but police officer was always a taboo. Like inside the jail, a jailbird can say, I committed the murder to another jailbird. If the other fellow says that he confessed to me, it amounts to admission, it amounts to evidence.
Wow.
But whereas even if he tells the Director General of Police, sir, I committed the crime, you can't consider that as evidence. Now that is the biggest advantage for the police when this law was made. And fortunately, I was in the group which made the law. Lady Secretary of Law and Judiciary called Umarji was there, Pratibha Umarji, and Mr. S.S. Puri, he is no more. He was the Director General. He was a law doyen in law. He and various others sat together and made this law. And we heavily borrowed from the Canadian law, American law, and so many laws, which almost saw to it that nobody can be booked by anybody. Tom, Dick and Harry cannot be booked under MCOCA. But if a Tom, Dick and Harry is booked under MCOCA, he can't get out of it very fast. Example is Bharat Shah. 19 months he was in jail. A sitting judge called J.W. Singh, 28 months he was in jail. So Milind Vaidya case was tried within 12 months. We can talk about it elaborately later. Got convicted of hanging and punishment of 1 crore, 5 lakhs and things like that. That is the Brahmastra, doctor.
Wow, that is the MCOCA Act, which is still on.
It is on, it is on. The other states have borrowed lock, stock and barrel. With the M, that is Maharashtra included, they borrowed. For example, Delhi borrowed it lock, stock and barrel, called it MCOCA only. They should have called Delhi Organized Crime Control Act. No, they borrowed it with our name.
So it's a non-bailable offense.
Every crime is non-bailable only. Any serious crime is non-bailable, like murder, dacoity, robbery, extortion. They are all non-bailable, doctor.
Okay.
If a slap is administered, it is bailable. If I show a gun and take the same, give you a slap, it is non-bailable. Okay.
Oh.
Seriousness of the offense is what is bailable and non-bailable.
Oh,
so MCOCA is what you asked is why bail is not easily granted to people is the question you asked.
Yes.
The point is that is the beauty of the law, that very difficult to rope in, but when you rope in, you don't get bail like others. Like Chivda, you don't get bail. You have to wait for a long time and prove that you have not committed a crime. So earlier Tada, the appeal was directly in Supreme Court, whereas in this case, it is the High Court to then Supreme Court. So this is the finest law one had made, and that was implemented in its majesty. And that is what I say nailed the coffin of the mafia.
very interesting, sir. Now comes the point. What about Abu Salim? He used to make a lot of noise. Is there something that you...
Doctor, all guys have to make noise to make money. Now, if you don't make noise, you don't make money. It is like doctors coming to giving advertisements when there is a ban on that.
So it's a question of time before they come on social media now.
Yeah, doctor.
And they say that, look, this is what I can do.
They may be doing it already. I am not aware of it. Gangsters may be using social media to sow. Earlier also you did mention about them coming as a benign character like Robin Hood, Varadarajan Mudaliar, or Chota Rajan as a national don and things like that. These are all more or less the same, polishing and showing that window dressing as they call. But now you asked a serious question about Abu Salam.
Yes.
Abu Salam is an uneducated ladies tailor who had come from Azamgarh, Pratapgarh of UP. Now he was a tea boy. He was working in this group of company of Dawood Ibrahim as a small time fellow who was helping. Slowly he graduated himself and then started doing his own operations. And then he specialized the Bollywood as his area. He knew the soft underbelly of Bollywood, that people are vulnerable. Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan, Rakesh Roshan, all of them are soft because they can't do much about protecting themselves. What happened to Salman Khan and Lawrence Bishnoi, we can discuss later. So he has chosen this field and started reeking money like hell. And then he allegedly had $40 million in Lisbon and various other places.
Wow.
He groomed himself wearing all the fashionable clothes. All women fell for him. Monica Bedi is for one. Then he started controlling the film production. At a given time, about 15-20 movies. He would finance, control, recommend heroines and all that kind of things he will do.
Wow.
So that is what is the level. In one way, I must say, these fellows, uneducated villagers, they come here and they show necessary skill to build millions of dollars in their kitty is something which is a negatively, you can say that they were good. In a negative, I'm not saying that somebody should follow them. Yes. But then this is this. An uneducated fellow making millions of dollars is something good.
Of course. But
by the wrong way.
They could have done this same utility of intelligence in some other fashion for the betterment. Like Osama was a brilliant guy to have.
Osama doctor was a technology graduate from the USA.
Oh.
He is not a small-time fellow like this uneducated Abu Salam or Dawood Ibrahim or anybody like that. And that was a different zoner altogether. These fellows, under the given circumstances, coming from poverty-stricken area, coming to Mumbai, Maya Nagari, and finding a soft belly, a soft underbelly of the Bollywood and start exploiting by phone calls.
Wow.
Simple, sounds simple.
No, but it is to establish themselves, they have to prove a few murders, they have their own colleagues who are...
Oh, he killed so many, doctor. For example, Pradeep Jain, a builder, for whose murder we have brought him from Lisbon. He is convicted for that. And such kind of murders. For example, your Gulshan Kumar is involved in that. He is the one who did that. Nadeem was involved in that. So like that, he token, you do top chaps and then get into fame or ill fame and then start collecting money from others.
So on a similar count, they try and kill these big guys and they give threat for money. Now is the famous case of Salman Khan and Bishnoi. Now that we mentioned Lawrence Bishnoi, we just passed Salman Khan's house. The guy is living in a threat that Lawrence Bishnoi might just kill him, and there have been a couple of attempts. What is this? How has this guy become so big from a jail?
Doctor, he allegedly was operating from Canada. And in Canada, he has got some followers even now.
So we halted at a very unknown destination on the coastal road. And what a pleasant surprise. We meet a traffic constable who immediately saluted you and recognized you. Now imagine you are out of force from the last 10 years plus.
15.
15 years now to be precise, yes. And yet people respect you. And something very touching he said right now. That he was 97 kgs and now he's reduced now to 74 kgs. And that too thanks to your gym, which you put up during your tenure everywhere. This is how a man, a legend with vision, with some good goals, with a clean heart can make a big difference. One man can change the society. Like the Surat commissioner, change the cleanliness there. Indore became the best. Now you have another commissioner in Lucknow who is making the city very clean. Similarly, one police commissioner could make such a big difference to the force, because unless the ground force is charged, work will never be done. Everybody sitting in air-conditioned offices cannot do what the ground force can do. Thanks to you, sir. That was really very revealing and extremely touching that we had that. Would you like to say something regarding the traffic?
I want to say something, doctor, because these traffic policemen are very close to my heart. And this guy is going to a gym in Worli Police Headquarters, where Mrs. Urvi Perumal had donated a 1 crore gym free of cost for me, for the policemen. And I had made 30 such police gymnasiums in the police stations. 27 in police stations worth 25 lakhs each, and 3 in police headquarters like Naigaon, Worli and Kalina. The 3 of them are worth 1 crore each. So this is where this guy said he finds time. And he went there and reduced by 20 kilos, and he is thanking that what you have done is great for my life. Earlier, I do remember after retirement 6-7 years later, I asked a friend of mine, because these guys don't get water to drink. Hydration is a very big issue. So I bought a bottle with a filter on top. And then we gave about 3,700 pieces to all the traffic men. They could take a tap water and drink that anytime, because that filter was there on top of the bottle fixed. They were so happy, they were so thrilled, because this cost me 26 lakhs of rupees. And a friend of mine sponsored the entire thing in one lot. So the policemen and their welfare is in my heart, whether I'm in service, retired, dead or alive. Whatever it is, I do this as a very, very important job, doctor. So in that, for me, education and health are the 2 very important things. I told you I built 3 schools, one in Gadchiroli, one in Chandrapur and one in Thane. Then this hygiene, where I built a Urjita running restaurant in Thane, even now it is running, run by private PPP model, and 185 lakhs worth of canteen in Mumbai police headquarters at Naigaon. So all these people, they remember this. The children who are going to Thane Police School are excelling. They are getting only first class and distinction in the 10th standard. And they pay only 25% of the fees, and the others pay the full fees. So by taking care of the policemen, they did all the job. You mentioned about cleanliness of Surat or Lucknow and all. What did I do? I also cleaned the city. I cleaned the city of garbage, of criminals. And the city is looking clean because, as you said, a young lady can go at 12 o'clock without any fear. Isn't this cleanliness in one way?
100%. It is. That's what I'm trying to give a comparison. That you clean the crime, and similarly, you can see people have seen these examples. The younger generation may not even dream. The Gen Z doesn't even know what existed in the 90s in the city. They're having a lovely, clean life because of somebody like you who has worked hard to put it across to them. So one of the complaints that most people have regarding the traffic constable is they are generally hiding and not there at the right place at the right time. And that little corruption which makes life, it just puts them off so badly. They are nice people working day and night. They are there for traffic. They manage Ganpati procession. They manage so many things. But for small things, they get a bad name. Today, with the Swiggies and all 10-minute delivery, it is unfortunate these guys are breaking rules left, right, and center. And there's nobody stopping them. This is just a common man that I'm trying to say. What is happening to a common driver? Because if he comes under my car, I am going to be sued badly. This is the unfortunate part of the traffic law that is there today in the city.
The last part I will take first, doctor.
Yeah.
You should have a camera in your car fixed there so that it goes on recording as to who is behind, who is in front, and then do that. All the American cars have that. Even today, our own modern cars in Mumbai city also have all that facility. And the policemen, we must have a body cam fixed on them so that their corruption is stopped. And about all the corruption and all that, the human interface has to be completely eliminated with the use of technology. Today, with the speed guns and cameras and CCTV, heat sensors, so many such things coming, we should not deploy policemen in this heat and dust and ask them to take 10 rupees and 20 rupees. Earlier, they used to take that much. Now, I'm sure they're taking more money. But compared to the corruption of all other departments like I don't want to name them because I don't want to earn that their enmity. Our policemen's corruption is negligible. It's peanuts actually. They used to take 150, 200, I don't know, maybe today they may be having 500 or 1000. This is very negligible. But the blame is not to be put on their doorstep, doctor. We have to take care of them. You take care of their health, education and pay them more so that they don't take this chiller from anybody and bring bad name. That is what is my summing up. Take care of the policeman and they will take care of their image and not indulge in petty corruption.
Very nice message, a very, very important message. They are very nice people. Whenever you interact with them, they are always willing to help. There is never animosity. It's just that it's the bad feeling because of their ignorance, partly because of whatever. And as you said, we have to take care of their livelihoods and rest.
Sorry to butt in, doctor. You asked me about the hiding and making out cases against people. For that, the only way is that today technology. You have all cameras, they click your car doing all wrong things. Why should the policeman hide and go and click? This is that enthusiasm to earn more deposits by way of collection of fines from the drivers like you and me. They want to show last year 12 crores was collected, this year 20 crores ho gaya. So they think the government is going to be happy. They don't know that the BMC budget is 70,000 crores. In that 8 crore collection is nothing, doctor. So they should not take this as a target. They should take other things, getting goodwill and good name as the target and not by jumping at people and collecting money or fines. It should not be their motive.
Thank you so much. Very, very important and very interesting. Now that we sidetrack for a little while, but I want to come back to this very important juncture, and everybody is very enamored by the word encounter specialist. Now, what is this word encounter specialist? And there are people who used it and who misused it. What is
Doctor, we are known more for misusing it, and all the so-called encounter specialists, whatever who have earned the name, they've all gone to jail, got suspended, and various other punishments have been perpetrated. Any wrong encounter, somebody, Lakan Bhaiya case, the man who was involved in that is behind bars for long enough time. Angre was also arrested for something. I don't want to take names of the so-called encounter specialists. Now, let me explain to you what is an encounter to start with. If a girl meets a boy in the park in the evening and the sparks fly and they fall in love, that is an encounter. In the same way, if a policeman with a gun and a criminal, if they meet each other and they take out their guns, it is an encounter. So this is done under section 100 of the old Indian Penal Code and section 44 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, doctor. This is basically a right of private defense given to you. Like if I attack you now while speaking, you can go to the extent of killing me for saving your life or your wife's life or your children or anybody neighbor. So that is a basic law. whereas policemen used it when they went to arrest or when they went to protect VIP duty, and if somebody is attacking the VIP, policeman can take out a gun and shoot. That is an encounter. What happened in Mumbai or in UP now? UP now, they are doing thousands of encounters. So Disha Patni's case, in the house is they fired on the house. 2 people have been caught and shot as an encounter. So this is what the publicity and the and many times is when not being controlled by the senior officer, these encounter specialists went to the press and gave full page interviews as to how they did an encounter and things like that. That is what brought bad name. Basically, this is a glamorized version of the dirty dozen kind of a thing, doctor. It should not be done. The basic idea of writing a whole book is we eliminated the mafia by 1600 detention, that is 1600 man-years of criminal was spent behind. Absolutely legal. Recovery of 2500 weapons from the gangsters, illegal weapons. That is another big jolt to them. And the making of MCOC and arresting important people and putting them behind the bars and getting convictions is another one. So this kind of strategies when we did, one of them happened to be an encounter thing, but I want to say that encounter was never a policy adopted. It used to happen as a part of the right of private defense. I, for one, would not say that encounter is the right thing to do. You have no right to take anybody's life if you can't give life to them. But unfortunately, this has become ill-famous, and these people have all paid very heavily by going to jail, getting suspended, and various other things.
Yeah, like for a common man like me, Kassab was known to be a terrorist. Everybody knows his photographs were there, and yet the courts took such a long time to convict him. So also these these criminals are as good as terrorists here, creating havoc with the common man. So if they are shot, I think it's the quickest way because the courts take such a long time in this country.
I don't agree with you, doctor. I beg to differ with you. Nobody has the authority to be the jury and the prosecutor and the executor in one go. I can't decide who is a criminal who will die or who will not die. Kassab's matter, I must say, it is the majesty of Indian law and jurisprudence that he was given a fair chance for 4.5 years. He didn't have the money to protect himself. The government, gave 20,000 rupees to a lawyer every day, and he was given the opportunity to protect himself. Can you believe that?
Yes.
And we took care of his health, and ultimately 4.5 years later, he was helped by the government to go in all appeals. So we can't blame the government for having given him an opportunity for 4.5 years. It could have been expedited. I agree there. We need not have taken 4.5 years time. It could have been done within 6 months to 1 year. After all, he was a foreigner and he was caught red-handed. 4.5 years is too long. But your other statements that if he is a criminal in our own criminals, if they are doing criminality, can we take out a gun and shoot them for easy disposal? Answer is no. Should not be done. There are so many detention laws are there. So many other laws are there. Why don't we use them? Take them to the court, prosecute them, get them. For example, your Subhash Singh Thakur after JJ Hospital shootout, definitely is there in the jail for long enough time. Your Lawrence Bishnoi is in the jail for a long enough time. Sitting there, he is doing crime is a different matter. So this is how the law has to be followed in its majesty.
So when you went with this, what strategy you had in mind? Because it was like a scary scenario when all these gangsters were emerging so big, and you are at the helm of the affair, and the police morale is low, and the public is not really with you because they are scared. They don't know whether they're going to be protected. So how did you, what strategy, what planning, and how did you get it executed so well?
Doctor, all these things don't emerge in a eureka moment, like you're having a shower or a bathtub, you run naked, eureka. It doesn't happen like that. Because we are solving a problem which existed for 60 long years. And the people's morale has to be down because they are getting killed like anything. Like 100 people in a year is 3 days once, a man is shot dead. And if that is it, people are not going to support and they are not going to say, Amara Ladla, police are here and all that kind of thing. So, the policeman's morale was low, you asked me a right question, because when they did a Javed Fauda encounter in Bandra, allegedly he was a Mumfali, a groundnut peanut seller. So this Abu Azmi, Samajwadi Party leader, and one Sebastian, a PUCL lawyer, filed independently cases in the Bombay High Court saying that PIL, private litigation cases, where public interest litigation is PIL, saying that these are murders are not encounters. The point which we discussed earlier. So you do a wrong thing, you will be hung for murder is the punishment we should remember. There is a thin line between murder and encounter, and this Bombay High Court ordered Justice Aguiar to go into details and find out what is the truth. So Justice Aguiar, after long laborious work, said Javed Foda is a murder and not an encounter. And he also did say that 95 others incidents were also murders and not encounter. Mumbai police developed absolutely cold feet, and they put all the guns and everything, and they didn't go out for arrests and nothing like that. They took a holiday. That is the time these criminals went out to shoot people like hell. 101 people in 1 year is the highest because of the Bombay police was in hiatus. So that is the moral part you mentioned about, doctor. Public morale is obviously, when the guys are getting killed like flies, how can you have a high morale and think very highly of the police? Police morale was low because they have already been facing 95 encounter converted into murders. So that is the scene where I had come, doctor. So I didn't have all very absolutely ideal kind of everything laid out for me. I have to just come there, as they call bed of roses. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. No one was willing to take up that job either. So I had come for that, and I had to devise, fail, fall, get up, do, devise new things. So these strategies which I am unfolding today is with hindsight knowledge of having done one thing, one wrong things, getting the right, getting wrong, getting right, getting wrong. Now I am unfolding what is palatable and what can be told.
Exactly. This is very important. At that time, there is so much of insecurity, and you never know some because unfortunately you can become a victim of some political vendetta somewhere, and that is where you have to really play a very delicate balance. On the same note, here we are now passing by a very important.
This is the spot, doctor.
Important junction at Mahalakshmi racecourse behind where the Mahalakshmi station is, where this Sunil Khatao incident took place in broad daylight. The guy was shot dead. I remember I was quite small, and I remember reading those mega news.
This is Doctor 1995. Sunil Khatao, the Khatao mill was very famous for producing those cotton sarees. All over the country they were famous. Right where we were standing, his car was standing. Now there was somebody who was protecting him every day by sitting there by his side. On that day he was absent. Let us say a bodyguard was missing on that day. And here Amar Nayak gang had followed him for 7 days. This is precisely the spot, doctor. This is precisely the spot where his Mercedes car, he was sitting there. And you mentioned about guns, even if you have guns, when they come and shoot from both sides. This is the precise spot where 2 motorcycle people come on both sides and they fire. What the heck you will do? You have a gun, but you have it in your bag which is zipped. And you have it in the office until you unlock your office and the office bag and open a gun and shoot. Who is waiting? They got AK-47 and you got small little, piddly little revolver. This is the spot, doctor. This is a jamming actually. Here, anybody can be shot dead even just now right in front of us. Where the car is parked, you can't maneuver, you can't jump, you can't go. You are a sitting duck.
Lame duck, absolutely.
That is what happened to Sunit Khatao. He is not, his name is Sunit. I have seen the body when it was hot. Fresh body I've seen. Unfortunate, but it happened. Amar Nayak. But later police, 14 people were arrested in that. A few were done to encounter also. Amar Nayak was the man who was done. On the 15th of August of that year, I think Salaskar had done an encounter where Amar Nayak was neutralized or eliminated.
Wow.
So that fallout of a great man or a great rich man dying does have very serious consequences on the others also. The others got jittery and any call coming there immediately would pay. I know a Malabar Hill family, very big business family, a simple Odisha-based boy washing the car daily used to see the newspaper, and he simply made a call to the family saying that I want 50 lakhs, I am Chota Shakil. 25 of the family members bought a ticket to USA and went away that evening. That is the amount of panic. I can name them also. They will come on the record and say that also. It happened. It happened. Now the state failed. You said about the state. The state was helpless, clueless. They did not know what to do. Somebody like me had to come. So what I want to say is, in the book Brahmastra, the leadership was the same, and the policemen were the same, the laws were the same, everything was the same. One disruptor comes and disrupts and brings all these people down. The mafia is eliminated by one focused, concise and dedicated leader who does only one job. Like you asked earlier, why did you not kill Dawood in the बाकी सारा? अरे भाई हमारा काम नहीं है, हमारा काम यहाँ पे जो हो रहा है, यहाँ पे जो शूट आउट हो रहा है, ये बंद करना है, ये तो बंद कर दिया. Today, all the people who say why Dawood was not killed are alive because they were protected by us by doing the pruning in Mumbai city, doctor. So this is the spot where Sunit Kata was shot dead. See, this is how long we have taken to clear this traffic. If two motorcycle people come and shoot even you and me,
nobody.
Now, what I can do about it?
Nothing can be done.
Yeah.
Very, very, very important that all these people, but these kind of people, where did they get their training? Where did they get their roots? How did they get the understanding? They were quite illiterate, they were quite otherwise.
After they had, Arun Gowli and all had some underground places in these unused mill places. We have discovered and we have made cases and we discovered and unearthed also. And for this kind of a shooting, you don't need a sharpshooter because it's a car which is parked here and you come close and shoot. This is almost zero distance they shoot. So there is not need of much of a big thing. But then Kata may not work sometimes, but then a damn imported pistol or imported revolver or AK-47 for that matter would work very well. See, like we are here now. Where is the protection?
Okay, there is no
protection. Even Bhagwan cannot protect.
Yes.
So that is the training is not a big thing, doctor. Training is simple. They can fire in their own houses where, or these unused mills were there, and they had created in the broken big high-rise walls. They created a place where they could fire and do the training.
So is it true that the JJ shootout was the place where the first AK-47 was used?
No, doctor. Before 92, that was 92. Yes, 95. This Ramdas Naik AK-47 was used by Feroz Konkani. Here, perhaps the first time AK-47 was used. I'm not very sure, but perhaps yes. That is a guy called Subhash Singh Thakur. The accused belonged to other gang. Shailesh Haldankar is the name of the accused, and one more fellow. They were tied to the bed with a handcuff, and 6 policemen and 1 police sub-inspector. Incidentally, he is also Thakur and the shooter is also Thakur, and they belong to the same village in Varanasi. So I don't know whether any exchange of intelligence or anything happened. I can't allege that, but he is a PSI. These guys went inside with AK-47 and fired 657 rounds.
Oh.
Terrifying thing. You are talking of encounter. 2 of the policemen who were trying to do the encounter were shot dead. So encounter is always not hunky-dory as we discussed earlier. This encounter, 2 policemen died with guns firing. So then Thakur was not killed. Thakur was asked to give evidence and all that. He filed the FIR. But then this JJ hospital story is one of the biggest crime stories you can ever tell. They used the car belonging to Surya Rao. He was the president of Bhiwandi Municipal Corporation. It was a Contessa, the biggest car that time available, with a huge lal batti on top. And they went all the way to Delhi and stayed in some MP's house and then did all sorts of things, biggest trial. But as a Brahmastra, I must say, it happened in 1992. I took it up in the court in 2000-2001 and got a hanging for this Subhash Thakur as a punishment legally. We didn't do an encounter or anything like that. And that was converted into a life sentence later. He is in jail since then. 2000 to now he is in jail, doctor. He may be doing operations sitting in the jail. But chai pani ke liye kuch to, he must be using SIM cards and doing that. But he is not a menace with a AK-47. He is not going and shooting people. So this is the majesty of law I've been talking about all the time.
Yes, this is the majesty of law if used the right way. it's all there in the books, but to be implemented and to see that it works out the right way for the common man. That's what. But no question, Bombay is an extremely safe city because of all those measures which you have taken at that point in time. Who at present is ruling the mafia in the city?
There is no mafia which meets the eye, doctor. Nobody is getting an extortion call. No doctor is threatened. You haven't read anybody being shot in Mumbai as on today. So where is the mafia? But the mafia is present. It is like the thin air surrounding you. The absence of it you will feel and the presence you will not feel. All the mafia people have turned white collar. They are doing this construction of this. If your camera can pan and take this multi-story 77-floor houses, they are involved in clearance of SRA project. For example, Dharavi project which is going on and places like that. They are all involved. Lot of people are consultants. I don't want to name the criminals. They are consultant to this project people, and they are involved in that. They have partnerships and they use all those kind of strong arm tactics to create havoc. But nobody is being shot, no extortion calls, no ordinary person getting his daughter married is getting a threat call. So police is happy. The latest killing, as you know, Dr. Lawrence Bishnoi we talked about,
Yes.
is Javed Siddiqui. He is allegedly 15,000 crores is his net worth, and he was dealing in real estate and things like that. So that is the issue. It can come back like Disha Patni's house being fired upon. So this kind of things can lead to a resurgence. Yeah, this is the
Dagadi Chal that people are scared of. His powers have reduced. Sir has done a lot of things to see that the menace to the local persons is gone down tremendously. And this is the power of the uniform if implemented the right way. It goes a long way, long way for protection to the common citizens who can live their life peacefully and make their daily wages to survive and sustain with the family.
Doctor, I want to tell a story about this Arun Gavli. Most of the times he was behind the bars, and then he has been getting all the cases acquitted. Only 17 years before, for having killed a Jamsandekar, he has been convicted under MCOCA My Brahmastra. So he spent 17 years behind the bars and he has come recently. Today when he has come, he is 75-year-old man, and I'm sure he would have mellowed down. But still, a snake is a snake and a poison is poison. So this is this case. He is known to have killed that Babubai of Sheetal owner. 32 times he was stabbed right outside this place. So many people he has killed. Lot of political killings also he has done. So he is a very, very notorious man. His daughter Geeta Gowli also elected as a corporator, and she has been working. And this guy is a very, very notorious man. Very short statured. He has made 2 movies on himself called Daddy 1 and Daddy 2. I think Arjun Rampal has acted as him, and he has left a legacy. Earlier you asked me a question as to how these cinemas are all being made. How they were all funded and financed by these people, no?
That's
like
right.
Daddy is made by this guy, and various others also fund and finance. Muqaddar Ka Sikandar, Diwar, and all those movies were made on Haji Mastan, and Zanjeer and various other things. They were all funded and financed by the Bollywood gangster nexus was that, doctor. And easily money was available from these gangsters, and they could borrow and then make movies on them. So these movies like Diwar, Muqaddar Ka Sikandar and other things are all in that genre.
Oh, wow. So they also love to glorify themselves. So that was social media working at that time.
They definitely would like to leave a good picture of themselves to their own family, friends, relatives and others, admirers. All said and done, this Dawood Ibrahim and others have a lot of admirers even now in this country, doctor. So these movies and the glitzy magazines and the books written by so-called favorites of theirs all help. So that is how my books stands in a distinct way, that it is the official version of what exactly happened.
Yeah, from the other side, which people don't come to know ever.
People don't come to know because nobody else wrote. And I'm the first fellow who is from the official side, writing officially, authentically. And otherwise, only the people belong having allegiance to the gangsters. They wrote books and then that sings the song, which is glorifying the gangsters because they were taken care of. They control the print media, they control the journalists, they did control the movie making also. Abu Salem, I told you, at a given time, 20 movies were made by his finance, and so many others. There was a producer by name Rajiv Rai, and he was tried to be shot by this gangster. And my constable Mohan Singh was there. He shot them back and chased them and then got away. Rajiv Rai got frightened and went away to US for 2-3 years. He never came back. And when he came back, Abu Salem told him, make a movie with my friend Monica Bedi. And then he made a movie called Ishq Vishk Pyar Vyar and one more. So this is how they controlled the Bollywood.
So, but you have amazing memory that I've seen over last 25 years. Amazing. You remember day, date, time, names, and the spot. It's like a live memory, a movie playing in front of your eye.
Doctor, when you live this nightmare, it is not a dream. I wouldn't say it's a dream. It's a nightmare I have gone through. And I've gone through every detail. And when I tell all these stories or what has been written in the book, I have gone through that. It is not a borrowed story from Yak Akko or anybody else. How Chrysler was revived and things like that. It is a story where I have gone through hell. My personal life was absolutely terrible. So with that kind of a thing, when I remember all these things, it is etched in my memory. Etched in my memory. So recollection is very easy, doctor.
So you said a very, very, very touching point of life. You know, you see a lot of these US Marines movies where, you know, their personal life is totally in a mess. I am surprised with your kind of working hours and your thing and your aggression. How has your wife coped up with you? Why has she not murdered you still?
She should have done long before, doctor. All the gangsters would have paid her enough and more to live a comfortable life. But you must ask her one day when you meet her, since we are good, very family friends.
Yes.
You ask her as to why have you not killed your husband? So she could have used very good weapons were available also at the home. So that is how it is, doctor. Life, I want to lighter vein. All we spoke was in lighter vein. But I want to say I had 2 daughters. They were growing up, and my wife was alone. We don't have our family here. Only friends like you would take care of us in case of any problem and all that. Of course, the police was my family. You saw the devotion now.
Yes.
At the age of 75, I am getting so much of love and affection.
Yes.
When I was in power, if I had any problem, thousands of policemen would come running and help me. But that apart, the institutional support apart, emotionally to help my wife or my children, no one was available. It's God's grace that none of them have gone astray to doing wrong things and things like that. My children, touch wood, have done extremely well. They are MBAs and they are working for powerful organizations and all that. My wife is still staying with me. Thank God she didn't change her mind either to murder me or to go away. But if they had done, I wouldn't blame them at all. Life was miserable and I used to carry my office problems there and fire them, shout at them and all that. I regret now, but then there was no other way. There are no 2 ways of leading that kind of life, doctor. And when I went home also, as I told you, the shootouts used to take place only at 9:30 in the evening. You go home, change your uniform and start eating food. That is the time you get a bad news that somebody was shot. All over again, go to Kandivali, Borivali, all those kind of places. So my wife obviously was very distraught and she was very, very disturbed. She was very, very disturbed. But then she's stuck on. You must ask her when you meet her as to why she did not eliminate.
No, but the message that I would say for any ambitious person who has gone ahead in life, it is not very great for the family. It is a lot of problems that they have gone through. What they see in the end, the results and all the success, but the contribution, the huge contribution by the family, is something which is phenomenal.
Unfortunately, doctor, I must say, in the corporate world, in other places, all these ambitious people are single. Most of them are single, unfortunately. Mostly they are single because they burn the candle from both sides.
Yeah.
So that is the problem.
So yeah, but because it is very difficult to stay a person like this, because you are ambitious, you have so many things going on in their mind. There's no time for all that lovey-dovey stuff and no more time for romance. So your children still are scared of you? Do they hit you? for not having spent time with them?
They don't hate, doctor. They love me a lot. I also love them in. See, when that can't say I had abandoned them, but when I didn't take care of them at the right age, there were a lot of compensations also I did. I don't know whether it amounted to bribery or anything like that. But when I had time, it was quality time, and I showered them with a lot of love and affection. They are very, very close to me. They are much more closer to me than to their own mother. So that way, there is nothing
No, I'm
wrong.
witness to that from the last 20 years.
Yeah.
They are very close to you, and the grandchild is also very close. You had a
Very
good
close to
time.
me.
So
that way, there is nothing absolutely wrong, doctor. That way, you must ask me, how did I manage this social life
Yes.
and my personal health, my relationship with my wife, and no other any other extra problems which I created for myself? There is nothing. So in fact, you should ask a question as to how did you manage your social life, your personal health. For example, I never felt sick. I've never come to you saying that some usual, this is viral and throat and all, I ask you and you give me medicine.
Yes.
Seriously, there is nothing been removed or nothing added to my body.
Yes.
You must ask me, how did I do that? But in spite of doing the Naxal operations for 3 years, crime branch for 6 years, commissioner of police for 6 years, how did I do? That is a question worth asking. I want to tell everybody the answer also. Moderation in life. Everything if you do in moderate. Exercise in moderation. Eating food in moderation. And all other things if you do in moderation, definitely you can have wonderful health. Don't get into addictions like drinking and narcotics and beating up people in the lockup and things like that. These are all outlets for frustrated people, doctor. Thank God I didn't get into all of them. Today I am here to tell you a good story, and you mentioned my recovery from my memory is very, very good. So with all these things, I must say, thank God, moderation is the only way. Whatever you do, if you do moderately, definitely you can remain in good relationship with the family as well as maintain good health for yourself.
I think such an important thing, a part of management, because every CEO or CFO, before he becomes a UFO, has to learn how to balance all those jugglery balls. Remember with Rakesh, we had that scenario where we are juggling those balls in life. Career, personal life, growth, family, and anyone goes off, the other two things also go off the track. So it's very important how you tracked it, how well you did it. And today, without putting one soti on anybody, still the criminals are very scared of you. That and the love for the police force everywhere. That is humongous because you stood by what you did, you stood by what you said. And I can tell you, friends, we have gone out and I've been very clear. We sat in hotels to eat, but I've never seen him. He is very clear whom he sits with. He will never sit with somebody who has a bad background. It also means after retirement, he got many offers, but he refused. He refused to join anybody for any little sake of money because his reputation to him was the biggest asset which he has, which he still has hold. And I am live witness to it. So this is something very commendable, extraordinary in one single human being to have gone through it, learned through it, bear through it, and giving it back to the society. And this is something which one life you can give some history and say what one can do. People must have tried to corrupt you badly, I'm sure, from politicians to the goons to everybody, to see that they can control you. What do you say about that? Did it impress you?
Doctor, it is very, very simple. The very fact that I went out and did all that is because of the understanding that the gangsters never go out to harm the policeman. That is one guarantee one we had. So you go do your job, they will all say, he's doing his job, we'll do our job. Second is, they would like to buy you away. Any policeman, they would like to pay bribes or gift or presents or whatever it is. But once your reputation is known all over, nobody would come and mess it up. Mess up their life and mess up my life. So what happens is, it's a period of 35 years. For example, I became Joint CP Crime as an IG. That's a good 20-25 years later. In 25 years, you have built up a reputation. I was in charge of immigration where corruption was the highest. I was the immigration in charge from 87 to 93. And that is the time Sri Lankan refugees were going with all the maids and women were all going to the Dubai and UAE with the stamp and things like that. I had put a full stop to that. I had made a reputation there so that could be built up later as the Joint CP Crime. So once you make a reputation that you are not looking either udhar and all that, then absolutely no effort. Nobody ever tried. Neither the police force, anybody came and tried to give me any gift or present or anything like that. Nor the gangsters, nor the politicians. But that is a formative stage as ASP, SP, DCP. This is a stage you get a name, doctor. हाँ छुप छुप के थोड़ा सा ले लेता है, हाँ ओपन कुल्लम कुल्ला ले लेता है, हाँ इसका ब्रांड विस्की यही है. उस समय black label was the thing. I never touched liquor all my life. That's a different thing. But these are the standards. Before you reach to the next place of posting, your reputation as to what you like, how much money you made, everything is passed on. So when I came to Mumbai, my reputation was the biggest fortress around me, protecting. The judiciary was supporting me. The press was supporting me. The politicians were supporting me. I want to put it on record. That time, Balasaheb Thackeray and his family and others were remote control people. Never once they ever met me or called me or phoned me or anything. It's a compliment to them saying that here is a man who is doing his job. Allow him to do it. It's a compliment to the politicians I'm giving. Neither Mr. Gopinath Munde nor anybody, Manohar Joshi or anyone, no one ever called me and said. Some of them later would have called and tried, but they were different people and they got the response which they deserved. That's a different matter. But this crucial period when the elimination of the mafia was taking place, none of these people who are in power ever thought they could call me and say and interfere in my life. Maybe with the bathwater was what I will say, what I was asked to do. I was given a bucket of water and a mug. You splash the way you like, but I want the end result, which I delivered.
Yeah, I think coming from the top man, that your reputation precedes you wherever you go, which nothing is quiet. Everybody knows everything, and this is a very, very important thing. We may think that doing things suddenly under the whatever wrap could be hidden, but as he said so beautifully, that which brand you like, which bag you like, which purses you like, what travel you like, all this is known by people where you're going to be going. So be careful what you do. Absolutely great, sir. One of the best times we have had to understand the underworld, the biggest things which is happening around, what happened at that time, what really hit it, and directly that too not from hearsay, not from reporters, not from newspaper clipping, but from the man himself. The man, the person who has been very, very nice with people to see that they get what they want and they can deliver exactly the reputation that he lived for. And he did that so well for the public that we are thankful to him. And thank you very much, sir, for being with us this time and spending your valuable time. Much, much appreciate
Thank you
your
so
time,
much,
time and efforts. He spent a lot of time.
I enjoyed the drive, I enjoyed the Dagdichal visit, and I've enjoyed everything. Thank you so much. Take care, doctor. Take care.
Thank you so much again, and with a promise that I hope this is visionary. This is opens your eyes to what is happening from the police's point of view and the law and order perspective. How we as citizens get affected and how we cannot be complacent, at the same time support them. But there are right good officers who are always there, and that's why we are safe. We are where we are because of these honest, safe, good meaning, well-meaning, family-oriented people with Indian culture who are not the shoot at any time. It's not like lawless America where you have guns running around everywhere. These are people who are protecting us at every given point of time with all the judiciary and everything in their mind, walking a very, very thin rope and still doing their job despite a lot of circumstances which prevent them not to do so. Thank you. Signing off again, and with the promise that we will get back to something very more important in the next show that we come back. And this is going to be a lot of revelation. Thanks again, Sivanandhan Saab.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
Wonderful. Thank you. Now that we have seen what he has done, if you really are interested in knowing and exactly how the underbelly was held, he has come out for the first time a book written by a senior police official, and that too at the rank of the police commissioner and the DG police of Maharashtra. He's come out with a book, Brahmastra Unleashed, and how this thing was possible, how we used in the given situation the Mossad technique of getting things done. And this is what he was, with his own understanding, change the whole scenario. Don't miss the book, read it. It'll change your life. It'll make you understand what's happening around in the world. Brahmastra Unleashed, released this September by none other than D. Sivanandhan.